Hello there, I'm Questy, and welcome to a new Let's Play of Battle Chasers Nightwar. Now, this game, I don't know anything about, beyond the fact that a friend of mine that I was having brunch with about a week or two ago was telling me that he'd picked it up on a Steam sale, and he was having a lot of fun with it. Now, he's big into comics and anime and stuff like that, so I presume that that's possibly why he was attracted to buying this game. Now, when I read about it, I have it on GOG. I went home and I actually found out that I already owned it. I must have picked it up at some point. I must have thought it looked cool. But here's what I can tell you about it. I can tell you exactly what GOG will tell me about it. Battle Chasers Nightwar is an American-made JRPG and dungeon crawler based on the best-selling Battle Chasers comic series by Joe Madeira and inspired by JRPG greats such as Final Fantasy, Suikoden, Chrono Trigger, and Phantasy Star. Developed by Airship Syndicate, funded through Kickstarter. Now, that's an interesting one. Kickstarter game that comes out looking excellently polished like this, and, well, actually comes out. I mean, that's pretty nice. Packing a pretty high critic rating as well. So I think what we'll do is we'll get right into it. Now, I'm lying to you a little bit with this opening screen. I have, opened the game, checked it out, balanced the volume, that sort of thing. But we're going to go ahead here and start a new game. Now, it does me the service of reading its own lore for me so that I don't really have to do that. There's going to be a lot of intro videos and stuff like that, which is consistent with JRPGs. But what it isn't going to be is sort of kind of uncomfortably sexualized children saving the world, because apparently only children can ever save the world. So it's tropey to a degree, but it doesn't have quite the level of anime trope that kind of puts me off of a lot of games. So I've only seen the opening 10 minutes or so, but I like what I'm seeing, and I hope this is going to be a pretty cool Let's Play. Without any further ado, let's go.
Years have passed since the great warrior and leader of men, Aramis, vanished. Left behind were his mighty gauntlets, artifacts of untold power, giving their wielder the strength to move mountains, as the stories were told. Also left behind was his daughter, Gully. She discovered her father's gauntlets, setting in motion the events that would make her a target of great importance and bring her into the company of her greatest defenders. Nolan, the wise and mighty wizard, whose tongue is as sharp as his wit. His mysterious companion, Calibretto, a war golem of immense power. Garrison, a swordsman, once brother-in-arms to Aramis, now sworn to protect his only living kin. And the rogue Red Monica, who can be foe as quickly as friend. Together, they have traveled the capital lands while defending Gully from those who seek the power of her gauntlets for themselves. Nolan, on a personal quest to learn more about mana, which fuels the world's magic and technology, has led the group towards a mysterious landmass known as the Crescent Isle. There, vast reserves of mana were once rumored to exist. As they approach the island, they quickly discover why so little is known about the area.
Everyone hang on!
What are you waiting for? Shoot back!
With what? It's a stealth ship.
This is stealth?
Just do something.
It's always on me, ain't it? These kids don't know how easy they've got it.
We're being boarded.
Golly, get below deck.
You break easier than I do, remember?
More incoming, port side.
Oh no!
Gully, what?
Golly,
I've got you. All right, Red. Looks like it's just me and, figures.
We made it? Or at least I did. Fredo? Garrison? Please be nearby. Now that is the type of intro that I can get behind. I want to play all those characters. I've got a giant war golem with a backpack with like rockets on it and shit like that. I am in for this game. And the other thing I think we can all agree on is it looks beautiful. All right, so once again, I barely know anything about this. Obviously, we've got a menu here that can kind of show us a little bit. Like our weapon here is obviously the gauntlets, traveling garb, all this stuff, skill, ground smash. Okay, we don't have a lot of stuff. Looks like there's going to be a lot of unlocks, a lot of stuff like that. I mean, exactly what you would expect. The basics are in place here. Oh, codex. I like games with a codex. Give me that lore. All right. A little ground slam. Nothing too serious there. Let's see what our... Okay, well, that's actually all we've got, as far as I can tell. Okay, we've got consumables over here. And we're sitting at half health. Okay, without any further ado, let's take our kid here and go looking for the adults. Debris. Good call, Gully. Trained observer. I don't suppose there's anything here that we can break or look into. I'm sure it's going to prompt us if we have any searchables or anything like that. Man, beautiful artwork. I love this. There's Bretto. He's looking a little bit worse for wear. Oh, maybe that's just how he acts.
Bretto, you're all right.
yes. Are you feeling better? You've been resting for a few hours.
I guess I wasn't completely prepared for that cannon blast. Was I dreaming or did you leap off the ship to catch me?
I did.
How'd we make it down in one piece?
Nolan. We fell through a portal he opened, placing us on the ground with only minor injuries.
Then what happened to him?
We don't know.
And Garrison? Monica?
Garrison fell through the portal as well. Monica appears to be missing, along with Nolan.
Then let's get moving. They could be hurt.
Garrison already went ahead to search for them. Are you sure you're well enough to move?
I'm so woozy, but we don't have any time to waste. I'll be fine.
First, allow me to further heal your wounds.
Ooh, he's the medbot.
Then we will meet Garrison.
Okay, let's see here. All right, yeah, we got switching party members. I just figured that out all on my own. Okay, so let's see. Oh, okay, so yeah, so she disappears. So we're gonna have one character on screen at a time. All right, so Gully's our main character, so we'll just stomp around as her for right now. But we can very dynamically switch. This is good. All right, this is obviously, you know, as expected. at least in this opening area. This is going to be very linear, like artistic levels, I would imagine. But I'm totally okay with that. I would expect we're going to get a fight here in the next couple minutes as well, which will train us how to use our abilities in combat. Now, I believe that this is turn-based, I think. That's ominous. Ah, slimes. The inevitable first combat of the game. Okay, yeah, nice. Side on. Fantastic. All right, so looks like there's no time pressure here. They haven't done anything funky and sort of made it so that we have this sort of semi-live, semi-turn-based. All right, so we basically have a single attack and a single defense, right? And then abilities, scattershot. Scattershot doesn't really make much sense because let me check here. Yeah, so protection places a shield on an ally that absorbs 31 damage. So that's probably me or someone else. I actually like that it has a flat damage absorb. That's pretty good. Very fast. That's also interesting. So presumably that means that it probably happens pretty much immediately when I do it, rather than something that might be sort of like, you know, start casting and then go from, and then it might, oh no, okay, so instant. So, okay, so I guess I'm wrong about that. Okay, but I think early combat, we're just going to go ahead and give him a shot in the beak. All right, what's this guy got? He's got gut punch, pretty similar. Increases physical damage taken by 10% for 3 turns. Okay, that's pretty cool. Overcharge. Don't know what that is, but it's a JRPG kind of thing, so we've got to have some kind of additional gauges somewhere. Okay, so defensive matrix. I actually like that they've kind of renamed these from character to character. I mean, that's just his guard ability, or his guard action. Okay, and then we got abilities here. So obliterate deals 22 damage over 4 hits, so it's just one of those combo things. If the enemy is sundered or bleeding, they take an additional 7 damage. Okay, so that would be something where I might be able to a little bit of background chatter there, where I might be able to set him up to do a little bit extra damage. But I think right now we're actually going to burn some mana. We're going to do that. I want to see it. Okay, a little status effect here. Hold left trigger to get more info about buffs and debuffs in combat or adventure. So yeah, so let's do this. Okay, we've got Slime Spit. It's dealing 4 piercing damage on each tick. So that's going to be another 8 damage to us over the next 2 rounds, probably. Which I don't really care about. Okay, so yeah, so we could take healing potions. We definitely don't need to. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and just keep basic attacking this guy. And Calibretto here is going to be able to finish him off, I believe. I can't actually see how much health he has, which is a little bit of a bummer. But we'll go and slap him and hope for the best. There we go. There we go, common parts. I'm suspecting that is a hint that we have some kind of crafting system coming up. All right, let's continue. All right, we took a long time on that combat. Obviously, I'm not going to take that long on all of them, but at the beginning of the game here, we're just getting a feel for how it works. Okay, an overmap. Interesting. All right, so not everything in the game is going to be voiced. We're discovering that. We're discovering that it has this cool sort of overworld map design. Interesting. All right, so there we go. So they're not always voiced, and I will in the future voice those. I just kind of forgot because I was so used to them having voice. Okay, so I actually didn't even bother reading what's. Okay, so we got monster encounters kind of flagged on the map there. Now, I would assume these little dots are potential encounter locations. I want to get to that little shed, but we have to follow the road, right? Okay, and then the diamond, I guess. Worn letters on the top of this sign read Talon Crossing. The plank pointing east says High Lake Village, with the message, "Not anymore," carved cryptically into the wood directly over it. The rest is damage beyond readability. Alrighty. I see a treasure chest. Okay, I'm starting to think that I'm onto something with this idea that we're going to have a crafting system going on. I'm seeing these little things on the map, like that campfire, and I'm wondering if that's going to sort of activate once we've taken other actions. Now, looking ahead, I'm guessing this is going to be an encounter, and it's not. Okay, interesting. So we can just grab this stuff. Okay, that's kind of cool. Let's see if we can pop... Oop, not that menu. Here we go. All right, let's take a look at this. Now, we just picked this up, so as you can see, our attack power drops by 8, but our defense, magic defense, and stamina all go up. Man, that's almost a sixth of our attack power, though. But I mean, clearly, with the amount that that improves, it is just better, right? And I would assume that we're not in a situation where, let me see, how do we, yeah, there. Okay, and so he, for example, is not going to be able to equip that. So they're all, I wouldn't say they're all, but I believe all the characters will have their own gear that we need to worry about. But I'm going to equip that on her right now. I am suspecting, because of the fact that we have the artistic inspiration of the comic book characters, that we will always be in a situation... I just want to check one thing. We're always going to be in a situation where the characters look the same no matter what gear goes on. And of course, that is fairly consistent with JRPGs in general. Now, I'm picking something else up here as well. You see the color turning to orange there? That makes me think that that is a slightly higher level encounter that we're seeing there. Although, maybe not. Maybe not. But let's just kind of continue north here and see if we can find our ally. Yeah, there he is. Oh yeah, it looks like the color does code for the encounter difficulty. Okay, let's talk to Garrison here.
I'm glad you're all right. What you did during the airship battle, shielding the cannon blast.
You would have done the same for me.
Maybe, but with messier results. You're a brave kid, but remember, we don't fully understand the power of your father's gauntlets. You have to be more careful with them.
I had no choice.
No, I guess not.
I believe he was trying to thank you. Have you found any sign of Monica or Nolan?
I haven't, and this village looks long abandoned. There are lights on the horizon, to the east. Might be a town.
We should investigate. If they survived, they likely headed that direction.
What do you mean, if? Nolan saved us. He can save himself. And Monica, too.
You're probably right. Let's go find them.
Awesome. Okay, so we got Garrison in the party as well. I'm just going to take a quick look at him. So he's got Artifact Blade and Wanderer's Tunic. And of course, we've got a lot of items that we're going to be filling out, but I do also want to check his skills. Okay, quick step, a dash that avoids trap damage and adds massive haste buff to Garrison if he initiates combat with it. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So when you see enemies on the map, you can charge in on them if he's up front. Well, just if he's your active character, I would guess. Okay, so his combat abilities is something that we'll look at next time we get into combat. So we'll kind of keep moving right now. Okay, so he was basically saying that we want to head east to get to that village. So we're going to have an encounter with what looks to me like bats. So let's go ahead and do that. One thing I potentially should do... never mind. It's save and quit. So I guess we're probably going to... Yeah, it did say we have autosaves. So let's just press on in here. Don't make me enjoy this. I don't want to know if you're into that kind of stuff. Okay, so here we do have an opportunity right here. Okay, so this applies Sunder, which we're going to want to start with because that way we can use our combo next time around to beat on him a little harder. Okay, so we can tell there that one Ruins Bat is actually casting a spell. So we've got a little indicator there. So if we do have an interrupt, we're going to want to use it. And we can see that he is coming up. Actually, it doesn't show us on the side there. Or maybe it does. I'm guessing the one that's circled there is the one who's casting. So we all go before him. So we'll take a look at Garrison's abilities and see. All right, so we're going to gut punch this guy right now. All right, so he's sundered. Okay, so overcharge displayed in red next to your mana bar. It's generated by using regular actions. Overcharge is consumed in place of mana and used for bonus effects in certain abilities. It goes away after combat though, so make sure to use it while you can. Okay. All right, so that's interesting. Used in place of mana. I wonder if it auto-consumes if you use an ability. Maybe, like I guess maybe you would want to overcharge by just using your basics. In this particular case, though, we're going to try out Scattershot because this will actually hit both of them. So let's give it a shot. Okay, so she's casting now. And that's not going to happen for a little while. Okay, let's see what he's got. So he's got Swift Strike. He deals pretty good damage. Parry, reduce all damage by 40 if attacked while active. It will increase his attack power. Nice, okay. Let's just take a look at his abilities. Okay, Cleave, excellent. Deals 34 damage, increases haste for all party members by 10% for 2 turns. That's cool. That's cool. And this one here consumes 40 overcharge, so up to 40. So in other words, if we're carrying overcharge, so neither of these can use it, but this one can, and it adds additional damage for that. Okay, that's pretty cool, but we're actually going to do Rally Strike because we want to haste up the rest of our group here. So let's go and tap him up again. Okay, there we go. We might actually get the kill on him when he actually does that. Yep, there we go. We got the kill. Rest of us are hasted. So I'm going to go ahead and just apply a gut punch to this guy again. All right, he's sundered. I don't think anyone else is going to benefit from that, but... Garrison giving us some tips there. All right. Easy peasy, but I'm actually interested and pretty happy to see that this early in the game we are already seeing that a lot of our abilities have good interactions. We're not starting the game with just attack for X amount of damage. We're actually getting some cool interactions between abilities and whatnot. That is good to see, and I'm kind of excited. There's a lot more crafting stuff and a little bit of gold. All right, so, oh, hello. A handwritten journal entry is scrawled on parchment. General Xavier returned from the main front last night. Because he came in darkness, few got a good look at him, other than to say he seemed well. The wars elsewhere have taken their toll on the outpost, with ranks thinning and our defensive practices becoming lax. I'm not sure Ravenheart even bothered to take his patrol last night, but then he always did seem the lazy sort. That should change with Xavier stalking the halls once more. Carlust. Alright, so who knows how much of a story this will be, or whether or not it's just a little bit of flavor. Okay, yeah, and we've got that stored now in the journal, so... Okay, a little bit more crafting mats. Let's carry on to the east a little bit more. And it's slime time again. I do prefer this type of thing in comparison with... Okay, we're actually going to go ahead. We're going to use Rally Strike again. Get that haste bonus. All right. Gut Punch. Get that Sunder going on. I actually am not 100% sure what Sunder does, but I would assume it just reduces his defenses. right, we're slowly crawling towards that next level. And we got a little bit of simple slime ichor. Fantastic. I'm actually really interested to see what kind of stuff we can craft. I'm assuming potions. North Harm's Way, South Wilderness. Okay, well, we were kind of told to proceed east. I believe the town we spotted is just north of here. Perhaps we should head there before exploring further. Fredo's right. Let's head there first. Fucking idiot player. Fine, let's do things their way. Okay, so here we are. Looks like our first actual populated town. And interestingly enough, this must be the village. I see a few lights, but no people. Where are they? Brooding silence. Let's bang on a few doors. Okay, kind of cool actually. I mean, I would certainly have expected kind of a menu town, and this is kind of just a stylized menu town, but let's be honest, looks cool. All right, but they are kind of telling us where we need to go, right? Looks like we've got a smithy on the side there with the grand exclamation mark, which is telling us that we should be getting into that. And we'll start there, but we'll take a look around everything. I'm eager to see what kind of NPCs we're going to meet and stuff like that. Now, we are getting pretty close to a half hour, but I am going to run through this town. I'm more than happy for this first episode to run a little bit long because, hey, we're kicking off a new series, and I'm pretty excited about this one. So anyway, let's check it out. Grimbeard Smithy. The heavy iron door, radiant furnace, and proliferation of metalworking tools strewn about tells you that this must be a smith's shop. Again, we're a trained observer. Let's pull those massive doors open.
You're the town smith?
Hey. Who the hell are you?
Of course. He's a dwarf. He's gotta have a Scottish accent. You can't make a game where the dwarf doesn't have a Scottish accent.
That's a rough way to greet strangers.
Being strangers, you don't know how rough we get around here.
I suppose we're gonna learn quickly.
Aye, skin's got to be thick to survive in a forsaken land like this one. And your hammer better be heavy. Speaking of forsaken lands, how did you lot end up here?
We came in on an airship. As we approached, pirates ambushed us.
Seems right enough. Though not quite pirates, as you say. Bandits. Simple as that. Just thugs full of hot air. But they've been a right pain in the ass recently.
Bandits. Who do they work for?
Well, being bandits, themselves mostly. That said, they're acting differently the last few moons. Less scatterbrained, more organized. As a few of us left a bit worried.
We were separated from some friends during the battle. We think they may have them, or know where they are. We'd like to chat with them.
Chat. A few weaklings came by causing trouble last dawn. Chased them off down the south road. You can head that way, if you think you'll find your friends.
If we don't, they'll regret it.
Keep your head up. They must have a camp down there somewhere. Interrupted my work.
All right. There's our quest. We're going to find that bandit messenger. Now, he says they're just bandits. He kind of disputes our calling them pirates, but I clearly saw that they had big skulls on the front of their ships. I think they qualify as pirates, if you ask me. All right, let's see if we've tapped out his chat options. Avoiding the southern roads, are you? We'll head there soon enough. As you say.
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right.
Be careful.
Did we not have an option to shop there? I'm just gonna quickly check.
Come on in.
No, it looks
I'll
like
see you
we looks
later.
like we don't. Okay, interesting. All right. Next across the street here, it looks like we've got the tavern, which is actually the first place I would be stopping when I showed up in town. Hopefully they let Gully in. I don't know what the age of drinking age is here, but
Hungry?
let's chat with this guy first off. Dogan by name. Oh, and they don't voice this one. Where are we? Missed the sign on the way in? You're in the town of Harm's Way. Don't worry, name's more bark than bite. That's a relief. What tavern is this? The Disemboweled Traveler.
Half pint or full?
I mean, he kind of assuaged our concerns and then reignited them pretty quickly right there. Nothing like a hard day of work at the Disemboweled Traveler to shake off the dust.
Half pint or full?
Okay, so he doesn't really have much going on there. It looks like we can rest for 11 gold. Let's take a little look at his wares. Okay, makes one feel rested, restoring 24 health each turn for a few battles. Oh, that's actually quite interesting that it's kind of timed out on the number of battles. Looks like we cannot afford it. It looks like maybe a secondary currency that we don't have, or it's reduced price. That could be it. Devil's Spine, a favorite around the time of Kickstarter Fest. Okay, there we go, some references. Increases attack power by 40 for a few battles, but will leave you tired once the effects wear off. Popper's Slop. Delightful. So here's the Mickey D's. Meager scraps of food tossed in a cauldron. Increases defense by 24. Common Ale. Not too strong. Increases attack power by 16 for a few battles. Okay, we are not going to buy anything here.
Full. Stay steady.
Because we don't know whether or not we need to, and we don't want to start burning currency before we've made currency and seen what we're actually going to need to spend it on as a priority. But let's check out the curio shop. The door to this oddly shaped hut is locked. Strange tinkering sounds can be heard within. Knock on this fucker. The tinkering continues, but nobody answers. Now, what I'm getting from this is that this village will kind of become a hub spot for us, but only after we've assembled our party, probably. That said, let's just be sure, because we did pick up quests in that one. Now, I know that we're probably not going to get any more based on the fact that these are all grayed out. But let's see. Okay, so this is the Collector. And he's clearly a tribute to those little dudes in the desert from Star Wars, if you ask me. What the heck were they called again? The ones in the giant sand... You know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't need to tell you. Okay, so this guy actually does have some wares as well. Got a booty blade. Lucky blade of the high seas. Wielders claim they sometimes happen upon extra treasure in their travels. So it gives us gold finder. So it increases gold found in combat by 20%. Now, it shows us which character can use it, which is Garrison, obviously. And his attack power is actually going to... Wait, is that... No, his attack power goes down by 12, his stamina increases, and it adds gold finder. I mean, I don't even know what that currency is that we need, but I want that. Obviously, early game, building up some gold might be pretty useful. Okay, but we can't do anything with it yet. Those are obviously some tokens that we need to get. Okay, you're a little creepy, but you got some shit that I want. All right, what do we got over here? Creepy wizard tower by the look of things. How do I approach this? Where's our... Oh, there we go. Okay, Book of Secrets. A well-made sign hangs from an oiled gargoyle on the door. It reads, "Out to lunch." Rip the sign down and throw it in the dirt. You know what I'm going to go ahead and do? I'm going to go ahead and not do that, and we'll come back and find out what's going on at the Book of Secrets a little bit later. All right, and over here, it looks like we've got the Altered Bestiary. That is a weird enough name that I have no idea what we're going to find in there, but it's possible that we could get ourselves minions? I don't know. Let's check it out. Okay, we've got our first furry of the game. I don't even know if that counts as a furry. I mean, I guess she's got the ears and a weird nose, but she's largely just an ultra-ripped chick. Well, well. We have a fresh band of adventurers loose here in the Vale. Experienced ones, no less. We've seen our share of battles, and you? Ha! I have, though by the way you hold your blade, not the same kind. Let's just say my foe are the wilder kind. Brooding silence. The name's Ra, Beastmaster Ra. As I see it, the only foes worth fighting are the untamed kind. And lucky for you, this island is littered with them. So we've seen. Ha! The slimes and bats in the woods around town? No, you're in for worse than that. We're here looking for lost friends, not hunting for trophies. Indeed, many get lost on this island. Rescue mission or not, you could use some basic advice to survive here. Take this bestiary journal, track the creatures you fought. You'll find doing so rewards you with insight into their strengths and weaknesses. Survive long enough, and I'll point you towards more worthy tests. You may find it necessary when searching for your friends anyhow. The search will be brief, we'll make sure of it. Then we'll be gone as quickly as we arrived. I've heard that before. Don't get killed, adventurers.
Keep your eyes up.
Okay, cool. That probably fills out our bookkeeping. Oops, wrong menu once again. But now we've got ourselves a bestiary here, and actually the lore journal as well. So this is where we can. Okay, so yeah, so we've got the spoils of war. Now I don't know if this is going to turn into a quest thing or just kind of a cool little story. It does reward us with flasks, but presumably that's just the collection reward, right? So we actually probably aren't going to really have content there so much as just you found all these things. Now, I'm wondering whether it's a case of everything's just going to be laying on the side of the road like that, because in that case, it's like, okay, that wasn't necessarily very hard to find. We just had to walk down the road. Or if some of these will be hidden. So far, I haven't seen any evidence that there's going to be secret areas, but that would be cool. Okay, and then over here in the bestiary, so far 2 entries. Let's see what this looks like. It looks like, yeah, okay, we've got a little, we have to slay more enemies and we're going to get more info on them. That's cool. That kind of shows me there, like how I'm going to be able to see their hit points in combat, their resistances, things like that probably. Very cool, man. Very cool. Okay, we are at around the 40-minute mark right now, and I think that's a pretty good start for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and call this opening episode here, but I am excited. This game looks cool. It looks smooth. I love the way it plays. We can see our little quest marker to the south, so we're going to get going there. All right. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you're going to join me for the rest of this pretty awesome looking game. Until next time.